If you are familiar with loading data from different sources like databases, file systems, then you might have heard about ETL. To know more about the difference between ETL and ELT, please check out the description below for the dedicated video content. For ETL, where we perform extract, transform, and load, we usually use staging location or target locations, which may be database or data lake or any other storage system. While loading the data from source system to this staging or target location, we can design to have two different load strategies, that is full load or incremental load. So in this video, we will define each of these and know the real time use case when to use what. Before that, if you are in a learning path about data and haven't yet subscribed for this channel, please do like and subscribe and press bell button for instant notification. So to start with, we will just define what is full load and what is incremental load. Full load is nothing but entire data in the target system is replaced from the source system data in every load. That means whenever we are ingesting the data from the source system, so the entire data is ingested and the data in the target system which already exists will be replaced with the fresh data which is coming in. So every load or every frequency, it may be a daily frequency or a weekly frequency or monthly frequency, whatever frequency, in every load the data will be entirely replaced. It will be like flushed and filled with a new data. So that is what we call as a full load, or we define as a full load. And when we talk about the definition of incremental load, initially we load the entire data which is there in the source system to the target system at an initial time whenever we are doing the load for the first time, so that we get the data which is already there in the source system, and then followed by we will load only the new records, or sometimes there is a possibility that the records are modified. So only new or modified records we will be bringing in the subsequent loads. We'll take an example and explain how actually these two will work in real time. So let's consider this example where we have a source system and target system, and a product table in the source system we want to bring to our target system. And this product table is having different attributes like ID, name, category, price, and load timestamp. And so the entire data which we want to bring to the target system, and there might be a subsequent frequency that you want to do this load every day or every week, depends on the load frequency. Say whenever we are doing it for the first time, so there will be no data in the target system, and once we perform the ingestion, so the entire data from the source system will be coming to the target system, and tomorrow there will be a new record inserted in this table. So even in this case, in case of full load, what happens is, so this data will be flushed out in the next frequency of load. The data will be completely flushed out, and the entire data from this source table will be replacing the data in the target system. Please note, the entire data is being brought, so even the old data, new data, so entire data will be brought to the target system. So this is the full load where we are doing a flush and fill. That means we are flushing the entire data in the target system and we are filling the full data from the source system. This is simple full load strategy. In this full load strategy, one more important point to be noted is, so whether we don't care whether the data is being inserted or whether the existing data is being modified in the source system, because we are just deleting the entire data and bringing the new data. So whether the data is inserted or updated, so that doesn't matter in case of full load. So next, let's take an example of incremental load. So where again we have a source system and same product table, and our intention is to load the data from source system to target system. So during the initial load, so initial load with respect to incremental load strategy is same as full load. That means we bring this entire data from the source system to the target system. However, what happens is, there might be a new record getting inserted in the product table, and there might be also possibility that the data is getting updated from 1500 to 2000 here. And also if we observe the load timestamp, so the load timestamp which is loaded yesterday, it is been 27, and if it is been updated or loaded today, it will be 28th. So the load timestamp for record number 2nd and record number 5th is 28. That means this is a new record which is inserted, and this is a existing record which is updated. So that's why this last timestamp has been updated from 27 to 28. So if we are following full load strategy, what will happen is we will just flush the data and we bring the entire data from here to here, which is quite simple approach. But here we will be not doing that. Instead, we bring only the data which is being inserted newly, or only the data which is being updated or modified. So only those two records, that means the record number 2 and record number 5, will be moving to the target system in the subsequent loads. Like we'll just move this one, record number 5, and record number 2 will be moved just like this. So now the both source and target system will be in sync. Tomorrow again there might be possibility that the row number 5 is again updated. So again we just bring only this row number 5 to the target system. Only this record will be moved to the target system, again not the entire table. So how this actually done is we can have a control table in the sense we can keep track of what is the data, I mean till what the data has been loaded. So we can choose to have a control table or control file. The intention here is to store the pointer till where we have loaded the data in the last load, so that in the subsequent load we can start our load after that. That means if you have loaded the data till 27th, so tomorrow if it is 28th, so you'll be loading the data which is only after this. That means which is only after 27, which might be 28, 29, whatever. So only that fresh data will be loaded. So that is the whole intention of having control table. And if you see, control table can be of two types, like you have an option of choosing a ID, because every table is supposed to have a ID, and we can choose to have a ID as a control value. So whenever we see this control value as last load max ID as 4, that means we understand during the last load we have loaded data till 4, ID 4. So whenever the new record comes tomorrow, we understand that, so no need to load these first 4 rows. So we can just consider loading the row number. Only the row number 5 is required to be loaded. So only the row number 5 will be moved from or copied from source to target system. Suppose during the first load, so we have in the control table that is last load max ID. That means we have mentioned that as 4. That means whatever the records which is being loaded after 4, that has to be loaded in the next subsequent loads. That means in the day 1, so we are loading this entire data. I mean, like from 1 to 4 we are loading to target system. On day 2, if there is a new record been inserted, so our control table will tell us that only the records which is after 4 has to be loaded to the target system, so that we will just load only the row number 5. So this is this can be achieved using this control table when we are talking about ID. So we are using the ID, we are choosing the control column as ID. But this won't work whenever you have a data which is getting updated, because ID will not tell us whether the data is getting updated, right? So if there is a updation happening on the row number 2, so we will miss that because we don't know that the row number 2 or ID number 2 is getting updated. So this is good when there is only inserts happening, when there is only new inserts is happening, and you have an ID column which is actually incremental. So this ID should be an incremental value, and there should be only a new records inserted. So there should not be an old record which is getting updated. In that case, you can choose to have a ID as a control value. Otherwise, it is best to use timestamp, so which may be a load timestamp or modified timestamp. In this case, what happens? we will just, during a first load, we will just load the data from 1 to 4, which is on 27th, to the target system. And next subsequent run, which is the second load, which runs on the next day, so our control table will tell us like the data has been loaded till so and so date. So only the data which has arrived after this will be loaded into the target system. But here we can have the data which is updated also. Suppose if the data is updated, so even the load timestamp will also be updated. So that we'll come to know that record 2 and record 5 should move to target system. So only these two records will be moved to the target system. So this is the advantage of having control table with a timestamp as a control value. This advantage we will not have in case if we choose the ID as a control column. And here we call it as a upsert. Why we are calling it here as a upsert is we are inserting a record and also we are updating a record in incremental load. In full load it is flush and fill. In incremental load we will bring in the new data, that is insert, and we update the data, which is update. So it is update plus insert, so that's why we call it as a upsert. So hope this is clear with respect to the example, and I think we are able to make the difference between incremental load and full load. And incremental load is also called as a delta load in industry by few people, so don't get confused. So delta load and incremental load are the same. So there are two types, only two types. One is full load and incremental load. We will understand when to choose full load and when to choose incremental load with some simple parameters. So whenever you have a less volume of data, so whenever the data volume is not so huge, so that you can easily perform the full load, because whenever we are performing a full load, it is just a flush and fill, right? So if the data volume is huge, so flushing the entire data in the target system and reloading the entire data is a complex operation, and it is a data intensive operation and also memory intensive operation for that matter. So don't choose full load whenever there is a huge volume of data. And if you have and you can choose the full load whenever you don't have any incremental identifier column. So we already saw the incremental identifier column might be some ID or some timestamp column. There might be cases where the source table doesn't have any of the incremental identifier columns. Maybe timestamp is also not there, ID is also not there, so then there is no option, so we have to go for an incremental load. So another option where we can have a full load is whenever we want to perform a history load or one time load. Say for example there is a requirement that you are just have to perform the data, I mean it's just like a lift and shift of a data. So in that case you will definitely go for a full load. And there is a case where you want to load the entire history of 2-year 3-year data. So in that case also you will choose to have a full load where we bring the entire data from the source system and dump it to the target system without worrying about any incremental strategy. So example, you can consider the dimension tables or some static tables where you have very less amount of data and it is like a master data and it will not get frequently inserted or updated. So that time you can go for a full load. And also say for example you have a frequency of loading a data maybe every month or every 3 months. So then in that case also you can choose to have a full load, but taking care about again the volume. If the volume is considerably less, then definitely you can choose to have a full load. And when to go for incremental load? So incremental load is well recommended when you have a huge volume of data, because flushing and filling every time the data is not a good approach at that time. So you should choose to have a incremental load strategy where you just update only those rows which are been newly inserted or updated. And again, if you have an incremental identifier column, so definitely the best option is incremental load. And this is usually chosen where the data is of transactional behavior. That means there is a table where there is a transactions happening, or there is updates on the transactions which are made as happening, and there is millions of records getting generated every hour or every day. So in that case definitely the incremental load is the best option. And frequency also, there might be a frequency of say every day or every hour. So in that case also incremental load is the best strategy, because every hour we cannot afford to bring the entire data and dump it to the target system. So we will just update the data which is been newly added or modified. So with that, I hope there is a clear differentiation between understanding the full load and incremental load and when to choose what. Thanks for watching.